from the UK Justice Forum. The UK government is going to give £24.5 million to protect mosques and Muslim faith schools in the UK. $28 million of funding will help keep places of worship safe. The plan will help protect faith communities from the threat of hate crime and terror attacks. Right, so how many of those are for Catholics or Protestants or any other sort of denomination of Christian?
Can't have that. That's not a real religion and faith. It's only Islam.
Yeah. Yeah, the money is for physical protective security such as CCTV, intruder alarms, and secure fencing to help protect mosques, churches, temples, gurdwaras, and other places of worship. And notice how the mosques are first. Oh, mosques will also be able to access a new security guarding scheme later in the year. So that's just for mosques. Yeah, because there have been so many terrorist attacks against mosques.
Hey, tell me it's a protected class without telling me it's a protected class.
Yep. Oh, freedom of religious belief and the freedom to worship are fundamental. That's funny, because I distinctly remember someone getting arrested for thinking near an abortion clinic. Oh, 2 in 5 religious hate crimes recorded by the police in England and Wales were targeted against Muslims. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. I don't believe it for a fucking second.
Someone's not going to school and not like, yeah, this sounds like a great thing to do.
I guarantee they aren't including all the British girls getting raped by Muslims because they're not Muslim. Because
that's a hate crime to resist being raped as a non-Muslim girl.
Yes. Yes, Major. They did tear a church down to save it from vandalism. You know,
somebody's been paying attention.
Yes. Someone's a good returning viewer. Thank you. I don't believe for a fucking second that 2 in 5 religious hate crimes were recorded by the police. Well, maybe recorded, because I guarantee they weren't recording Muslims beating up white people as religious hate crimes. Especially not when the entire motivation was that they were Muslim.
Yep.
On today's episode of Lies, Damn Lies, and Statistics.
Statistics. Fabricated lies.
Yeah.
With some effort.
Yeah, like how about this? Was this a religious hate crime? When the Afghani Muslim stabbed a Marine to death? Well, an aspiring Marine to death. And then they gave him £40,000 in legal aid after he'd murdered 2 fellow Afghans in Serbia.
I just remember, it wasn't Canterbury, but some cathedral in England, specifically England. I think it was maybe in the north near Manchester. And fresh off the boat goes in there, starts tearing up a Bible and all this stuff behind the pulpit during a service, and gets absolutely nothing as far as consequences from anything I've seen, other than maybe we detained and interviewed him.
Yeah. So Lawangin Abdul Rahamamadamamading and Dong, 21, murdered aspiring Marine Thomas Roberts 21 outside a subway in Bournemouth, Dorset on March 12th last year. Before he'd even reached Britain, this dipshit had already murdered 2 fellow Afghans in Serbia following an argument over what may have been related to the people trafficking business. So Abdul the Dick, who had also sold drugs in Italy, was 18 when he came to the UK, managed to convince authorities he was a 14-year-old boy whose parents had been killed by the Taliban. He was placed with a foster care despite having been convicted in his absence for gunning down 2 people in Serbia with an AK-47 assault rifle. Were any of these considered hate crimes against Christians?
No. Why be so silly?
Oh, look, he also had a knife, because those laws against that have totally worked.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have to ban all pointy things now in the UK just to prevent this.
Also, apparently this illegal immigrant sexually assaulting a woman also wasn't a religion-based hate crime. So Dirtbag McDirtbag of Sunderland. Like, I know that's how the British have written, but of Sunderland, my fucking asshole. Of shit fuckistan, more like it. Was found guilty of forcibly groping the woman hard enough for it to hurt, and then walked fucking free, given a suspended fucking sentence.
Lovely. It's just because he was so oppressed and whatnot.
Yep. Found guilty after trial of sexual assault. The judge sentenced him to 4 months suspended for 18 months with 200 hours unpaid work, rehabilitation, and he must sign the sex offenders register for 7 years. How about for the rest of his life?
Well, that should be less than 7 years then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 7 minutes.
The judge said Teresa's Home Office status that he is an illegal entrant liable for removal, but he is applying to remain. How about we fly him back to where he fucking came from, and if he won't tell us, we just drop him in the fucking ocean.
I say just fly over where his home country is and kick him out. If he makes it to the ground safe, fine.
Well, that's it. We'll return to his home country. We don't even need to land the plane.
Yeah. Didger's asking where the soccer hooligans are. That's a damn good question.
They've all been convicted of being racist.
Mm.
Remember, there's $28 million of funding to get rid of the soccer hooligans. The likes of Tommy Robinson and whatnot.
It's like a hooligan genocide, since
Yeah.
anything is genocide these days.
Continuing this topic, dangerous waters, alarming epidemic of migrant sexual assaults in German swimming pools. Are any of these religion-based hate crimes? Against the Muslim, I'm sure. How dare you not let this poor, unfortunate, idiot Muslim who's unable to control his actions relieve his sexual urges with you, you damn racist.
What was it? Sexual distress was the defense used?
Yeah. That doesn't work for anyone white. Fuck off with this bullshit, you stupid bastards. Meanwhile, in Germany, mother and daughter invite Afghan Muslim immigrant into their home and he stabs them both.
Oh, yeah.
That's a religion-based hate crime?
Thankfully, they have survived so far. I'm hoping that I think they're in hospital and critical care, and I hope they do carry on, live. It's just fucking awful.
It does, again, seem like a rather unsmart thing to do.
Oh, what about this? Is any of this the Muslims misbehaving?
Voilà le quartier de l'Ariane. Animation, en direct. Nous sommes en première loge.
Islamized France. On Thursday evening in Nice, young Chechens and Georgians battled in the street with knives and baseball bats. Yeah, Chechens and Georgians. Dozens of ambulances cleaning up knife attacks. And if that doesn't scare you, an entire ship of all male Islamic fighting age illegal migrants chant Allah Akbar on their way to bring diversity to your shores.
Again, honestly, the best thing that could happen for anyone is them to go down with the Titanic, frankly.
Roll out the Royal Navy. Get them to do what they're used to doing, sinking migrants in the channel.
I genuinely do think they should just mind the channel.
Well, that's it. Any unauthorized vessel entering British waters, just sink the fucker. I'm sick of this shit. It's a fucking invasion force.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the worst thing is, they are contributing nothing. They aren't useful. They are just grifters.
Yeah.
Fucking sick of people pretending that they are actively helpful for our economy or any other thing.
They're just coming over for free shit because in their own country they'd be expected to work. That's why they're leaving. It's not because they're at risk. No, they're fucking Muslims in Muslim countries. They just want to come to England because the other Muslims that are still in the Muslim countries would kick their ass for being lazy bastards.
Yep. It's, they're not the ones in power in their home countries. That's why they're leaving.
Well, it's not even about the power. It's just that Muslims wouldn't put up with their shit.
No. But we will, which is a damn shame. We should go with the Spanish solution.
Well, no, we should. If Islam is so great, we should take a lesson from them on how to deal with scum-sucking invaders.
Like I said, I should have clarified. The Spanish solution being the Reconquista.
Yes.
Where they kick them all out forcibly. And then impose the Inquisition.
Yeah. Actually, what's the shithole next to Israel?
You got to be more specific. Are we talking north, east, south?
The one with the Gaza bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Palestine?
Well, that's Gaza. I prefer to call it Palestine. It's Transjordan.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Palestine. Since all the lefties like Palestine and Muslims so much, we should copy the Palestinian view on illegal immigrants and just copy what they're doing to Israel.
No, so rocket attacks while hiding from inside children's hospitals. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, I'm perfectly fine with launching rockets from the shore against illegal migrants.
Yeah, same. No, I just think of it like a game of Cossacks where I have an island. I just load up a bunch of fucking towers on the edge of my island. Any boat comes now that I don't recognize, not an ally, boom, 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 dead.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
That's it. Give the Royal Navy, make the Royal Navy do their fucking jobs again. Patrol the English Channel, and if you see anything that looks foreign, shoot it.
The Armada solution.
Yeah, no, deal with the Armada from the Spanish the same way we should have dealt with them, the same way we first dealt with them. Just fucking shoot them down.
Send them to the bottom of the fucking ocean.
I'm sick of this fucking bollocks about human rights as well. Like, oh, we have to look after these people. It's like, these people don't give a fuck about your human rights.
Also,
they don't give a fuck about you. They'll rape your children.
Like, they carry on about
or
human
scam
rights,
them.
but they've also established they don't give a shit about them either. They keep
Well,
waking
no.
off about...
As soon as it's a billionaire.
Well, no, that's not even what I was talking about. They're perfectly happy to restrict our human rights when it's convenient for them.
Yeah.
What about our rights to self-defense, our rights to self-determination, our rights to be able to go wherever the fuck we want that isn't owned by someone else?
Yeah.
I've been fucking with that for the last couple of decades.
Oh yeah, and because I'm looking at chat here. It's like Didger's asking, driving down wages, and that's the appeal for the powers importing them. I actually had some lefty admit that virtual slavery was ideal for cheap food prices.
Yep. And actually, weren't you arguing with some twat waffle on Twitter, Bleach, that was insisting that they let in illegal immigrants because they can be used as slaves?
Yes, that it blew my mind that they basically like, well, yeah, you're not going to get fruits and vegetables, but slavery's good because I can get fruits and vegetables. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, we'll just invent functional voluntary slavery. Okay, so serfdom and indentured servitude. Yeah. Well done. But this time it's different because they're brown instead of black. That's like right. If we were going to bring back slavery in 2023, why did we get rid of it in the first place?
Well, Democrats never really did. They just changed the form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely loathe how, and this all started under Bush 41, or not 41, 43, with, it's the religion of peace. We can't hate Islam for destroying the Twin Towers in a active an active moment of Islamic terrorism. No, you can't do that. Stop telling people not to hate things, because then you're going to get this result. You
can't hold the millions of people who were in the streets cheering responsible for the thing they were cheering for.
No, can't do it.
Wasn't there another one within like the last 3 or 4 years where something horrific happened and then all the scumbags of the group that was responsible for it were in the streets cheering? What the fuck was that?
Oh, I have no doubt.
There's no chance in hell I'm ever going to remember what that was. Where was all this left to? It's led to stupid and fucking laws like this. Like, I get where they're coming from, but that's right at the top of a slippery slope, and someone's pushing.
Yep.
So, the headline is Meloni bans public presidentialism. That's what we're talking about. Sorry, go on, Bleach.
No, I mean, this is kind of the pendulum disco has definitely been working a lot on.
Ooh, actually, that's a good point. Let me stick that in the pen.
There's a part of me, I don't want the pendulum to swing too far back the other way, but maybe it's a good thing if it does for a while.
Yeah.
It's going to be incumbent upon us to resist the excesses, but maybe we need to get the general public trending in the right direction, because there's going to be nothing left.
Yeah.
If we don't.
And like, I understand it, and it's pretty base, but also you're starting to make laws restricting religious freedom. Not a fan. See, this is why I should be an American. And like, I'm hook, line, and sinker behind the First Amendment. Religious freedom. Government should make no law
establishing the practice thereof. Yeah. Now this is just a beef of mine, because I've had to deal with this with some family members. They keep going, it's freedom from religion. It's like, no, it's freedom of, and whether you have it or not doesn't fucking matter.
And that's it. It's freedom of.
Stop saying religion is bad.
Yeah, it's freedom of, which includes none at all. Like, Jefferson is he did his version of the Bible. Like, he was the closest thing to an atheist in the Western world of his time. Like, though he's probably got more in common with Jordan Peterson. He was basically the Jordan Peterson of his time.
Yeah, just a hell of a lot more based.
Yes.
But that's the thing. This is going to be completely off topic for a second, but the one thing I always admired about Jefferson, especially since I toured his property like, almost weekly for a while in my childhood. um, it wasn't that he was anti-religious. He just didn't like all the trappings and miracles and things like that. So he was like, yeah, there might be something bigger than me, but that's not really important. I'm
No.
more into the science side of things at that time when
Yeah.
the superstition
He
was more
also
prevalent.
understood the dangers of organized religion. And those are definitely vast and extensive and well documented. Keep in mind that a religion or a cult can be based on lots of things other than a magic sky daddy. It can, for example, be based on the magic beagle murderer. Or it can be...
Hail Fauci.
Yeah. Or it can be a cult of personality. Like these stupid fucking bitches that voted for Trudeau because, ooh, he's sexy. No, he's pathetic. You can have an atheistic religion. And we've clearly seen that with the establishment of the Church of the Woke. It's a full-on religion with all the fucking trappings. They've got their commandments, they've got their deadly sins, they've got their virtues, they've got their priest class.
They've got confessions that are mandatory.
Yeah, they've got confessionals. Wokeism is a religion. It's just that they're worshipping hedonism.
Yep, I've heard it referred to as Moloch in this particular case. But yeah, it's that's
Well, I kind of
invoking
yeah.
things.
When you refer to Moloch, I kind of think of the baby-eating devil worshippers in the upper class.
Oh,
You mean no,
sure,
like
I thought we were
Nancy
talking about
Pelosi and
Pride
Hillary
Month.
Clinton? No, the Pride Church doesn't eat the babies; they just rape them.
Yeah, I do find it interesting, having talked with Ardent a bit, where he's kind of taken the new default position for him of culturally Christian, which I think it's more kind of
I call it kind of trad Western, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Because
really
to-
embracing traditional
Yeah.
Western values.
Because I think a lot of people just have a gut reaction because we can thank the new atheism movement for that. But a lot of people have a gut reaction to as soon as you're like, oh, gosh, you're Christian. And it's like, no, trad Western values, which is basically Christian values, but we'll sneak it past the midwits. Because the problem is the midwits.
I think it's one of those Western culture had some natural defaults, and Christianity figured out how to build them and make
and
them,
adopt them. And
more of a standard.
Yeah. And one of the things that we've talked about before is like the midwit is the most dangerous thing in the world, because the midwit seems to require a higher power, a higher esoteric, non-tangible power. And that was traditionally religion. Pick your Abrahamic religion or your Eastern thing or whatever. Pick your religion, whether it's pagan, barbarian, Norse, whatever weird shit was going on in England before the Romans arrived. But also consider how easy it is, that it's a lot easier to replace one religion with another religion than to either eradicate the religion or replace it with no religion at all. Again, for example, see paganism to Christianity, when the Pope was essentially like, if you're going to build a new church anyway, have you considered just building it in the middle of that pagan site and going, yeah, it's totally been a Christian holy site forever. You're just confused about the details.
Yeah, it's I make no bones about the fact that I'm a practicing, although not as much as I should, Christian. But
that's why you're practicing. You're trying to get better.
Exactly. I will say I always object to, it's like, for me it's for my faith is about putting the brakes on the excesses that I would give myself over to, like conquering a small city state kind of thing. But it's always been like, these are positive virtues that should be taught to everyone, and it shouldn't be cultish behavior, shall we say.
And that's it. If you do the Jefferson thing and strip away the supernatural woohoo from Christianity and just look at the values system, irreligiously, it's one of the best system. It's the best system that we've stumbled across so far. Problem is, though, the goddamn midwits, again, they need someone or something to tell them what to do and think. It used to be the Pope. Nowadays, it's Pope Fauci.
Yep. And I think that's the pitfalls of people just blindly following anything. It's exemplified right here.
Well, that's it. You shouldn't follow anything. You shouldn't follow the science, especially because that's anti-scientific. But you shouldn't follow anything without at least considering it. Like, and there's different levels of consideration you need to apply to different things. Like, when you're deciding what to have for lunch, you consider that. Unfortunately, a lot of people put more consideration into what to have for lunch than what to think.
Well, because that's something they can control, where what they think is, no, I don't want more information because
information's scary. It's scary. I might have to come to conclusions that disagree with my established worldview and make me feel uncomfortable, because then I might actually, not be a glorious saint because I've lived my life of hedonistic bullshit. But no,
Bro's having audio problems.
Yeah. Instead, we've got the fucking churches of porn and Slanesh running around.
Yeah.
We've got the Church of the Woke. We've got the Church of the fucking Holy Covidian. We've got the Church of the BLM with patron Saint George of the Fentanyl.
Mm-hmm. Hell, we've got the Dark Brandon cult now.
Yeah.
And the Sad Dick Con.
I mean, you look at the Dark Brandon cult, and that was basically manufactured by the media in a weekend. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, I know you're dumbass Democrats, but holy shit, that's low even for you.
I love how they keep trying to resurrect it and run with it. It's like, look at this, look how great things are. It's like, do you not understand the implications here that you're becoming not just a cult, but a cult to absolute power of a potato?
Yeah. Not like, it's gotten to the point where mainstream news are reporting on his mental decline as actual news rather than opinion.
Yeah.
And we've established that the leftists are the most racist and Americentric losers on the planet. But look at news from outside America for 5 fucking minutes. Even the absolute worst shitholes like Australia and the UK have mainstream news going, doesn't Biden look a bit fucking stupid to you?
Yeah, it's like, it's a little curious. Why is he having these problems all of a sudden? It's like, well, it's not all of a sudden, motherfucker, but...
No, it's been a slow, gradual creep through the institutions since the fucking 70s, or earlier.
Since his birth.
When I said the 70s, I meant the 1670s.
Oh, well, I thought you were just referring to the year 70, but,
BC, yeah.
Yeah. Back to the article, but Meloni, she's doing the right thing the wrong way.
Yes, absolutely. And it's like everything else, because apparently slippery slopes are like fucking cracked politicians. Nothing fucking gets their rocks off more than staying at the top of a slippery fucking slope and going, yeah, I'll be fine, I can stop when I want to. Basically like a crack addict, I can totally stop when I want to. Yes, let's ban 1, a peaceful assembly, and 2, religion. Yeah, that'll fucking go well.
Yep.
And like, I can absolutely understand the motivation, and I can see why you'd want to do it. It can be extremely disruptive and just fuck Islam in general. But this is not the precedent you want to be setting.
Yeah, because when someone else gets in power, they can say, "Oh, well, look at what was done in the past. Let's put it against Christians or Sikhs or atheists or whoever."
We've already got this brand new act of parliament. Let's just write a new fucking quarter-page act that goes, amend such and such act, add word Christian to line 3.
Yep.
How they can't see this baffles me.
It's because they get the blinders on to appeal to their base, and their base is rabidly wanting to have change that is positive in their direction.
Yeah, drastic.
Unfortunately,
and
the
positive.
unintended consequences never get thought forward. It's like, I hear American politicians with the impeachment of Biden stuff moving forward, and there's a part of me that's like, the Democrats went and decided to put impeachment charges against Trump without realizing that they were inviting that to happen to themselves.
And impeaching Biden's a stupid idea. As useless as Kamala is, she can at least string a sentence together. It's a dumb, stupid, idiotic sentence, but at least she can string it together. Kamala is better for the Democrats than Biden. The smartest thing for the Republicans is to let Biden stay there and continue his decline. Because the more he is declining, he's visibly declining. Let him keep going. Let him shit himself on live fucking TV in 6 months' time.
Mm-hmm.
See how that works for the Democratic, for the Democrats' next election.
And this gets back into the pendulum thing. Everybody's like batting it around like George would a ball on a string.
Yeah, they're batting it around like fucking pole tennis. No, you want control where it goes and how far it goes. Precision, like a wrecking ball.
And this is the way I always fault, kind of right-leaning politicians, whether it's in the U.S. or the U.K. or Australia. They never do anything to like have a multi-year plan of taking and consolidating power. Right. It's always pushing back against the excesses of the left currently. Yeah,
and it's also some really ridiculous things. Like they push way too far. They always seem to want to alienate the middle ground. They'll either go video games are evil, or comics are evil, or mangas for losers and pedophiles. We can refer to Connor and Matt Walsh for those three, essentially.
Matt Connor?
Basically. So you can look at those, or like the whole abortion thing. Like that they're trying to strap jet boosters to the fucking pendulum and it's not working. Because, yeah, safe, legal, and like I'd like there to be no abortions that aren't medically necessary. That would be the ideal. Problem is you have to convince the middle ground of that. And if you turn of just getting it more rare, but you're not going to win the middle ground, especially with today's attitudes towards sex. You're not going to win the middle ground by going, you know what, all abortions are legal, including medically necessary stuff, because there are muppets around that want to be illegal to terminate an ectopic pregnancy.
Yep.
Actual life of the life of the mother should be an acceptable reason. I'm not, or hell, even health of the mother to an extent, but none of this mental health bullshit.
No. Yeah. And this is while I'm morally opposed to, I'm dramatically opposed to abortion as a form of birth control. It's like there are times when it needs to be a serious medical procedure for very serious reasons.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it as a form of birth control. Just make better choices for the most part.
We need a sexual counter-revolution. I hate saying it because it's like, Bleach is a normal man. He wants to have sex. But at the same time, it's like we've gotten so far into the weeds on, just, fuck anything that moves. We need to push back on that culturally. Now, that shouldn't be in the form of excesses and everybody can't do X, Y, and Z. It's just we need to have more internalized shame about these things rather. I'll just do whatever the hell feels good.
But also, there's a significant problem with the way that they've dehumanized the baby, because they've dehumanized it for the entire pregnancy. That flows over past the birth. If you enjoyed this segment from the Sons of Chardonnay podcast, please consider joining us live exclusively on rumble.com/c/Sons of Chardonnay. A special thanks to our subscribe star supporters who you can currently see scrolling past on your screen.